peoples, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking all about, drumroll please, reaching out to artists. So let's get started. First up, I want to introduce myself a little bit and why I would be reaching out to artists. So I am an aspiring comic book writer. I will link the playlist up above in which I talk all about the writing of the comic that I'm currently working on, and I am now on the stage where I need to reach out to and find an artist to work on it with me. So now that that is out of the way and you understand the sort of artist that I'm looking for, let's get into where to find artists. I am reaching out to artists that I found through Instagram because, little shout out to me, follow me on Instagram because I have more content over there. You can find me at Writing with Ash, except there's little underscores. I'll just put it up on the screen. But as I'm already established over on Instagram, I've been using that to find and reach out to artists, but there are also other places that you can look, such as DeviantArt, ArtStation, there are Facebook groups, I'm sure there are Reddit, threads, maybe Discord servers. Basically, if you look for art, you will find artists, and there are so many talented artists out there. One of my favorite methods to use is Pinterest, because Pinterest takes art from all over the web and consolidates it. Plus, if you click on one thing that you like, it'll show you more things like that. So I found artists that I now follow on Instagram via Pinterest just by scrolling through looking for Dungeons and Dragons inspiration, and I'll see art, I'll follow it to DeviantArt, then over to Instagram. So if you need like a place to consolidate it all and scroll through everything, Pinterest is a good spot. What's cool about Instagram is that if you follow an artist, more artists will pop up below showing you other options. So you can follow that same thread and find a bunch of amazingly talented artists. But that is where I am currently looking for artists. This is if you're looking for someone who's not necessarily cemented in the comic book industry. I can always find a comic book artist on the back of one of my comic books, but the problem with that is that a lot of them are working on the comic book that I found them through, or they're just not interested in someone who's newer to the industry. This is a good way to find comic book artists who maybe would be willing to work with a beginner because maybe they're a little bit more beginner themselves. So step 2, once you've found your artist, you need to reach out to them because they're not your artist yet. They are an artist who may or may not say yes. So when it comes to reaching out to artists, I've done this a couple times now with both established artists, I will link that video up above, and now I'm reaching out to artists who maybe aren't like known quantities in the industry. I said where I found them, now what do I say to them? Depending, I've found that emailing probably works best and is the most professional, although if you can't find an email, you can always DM them if you're doing Instagram. But preferably you could find an email and you can put together a short letter basically. In the video about reaching out to established artists, I go into this in more detail and I lay out everything that I say in my letter, all the points that I hit. But basically, you want to say who you are, you want to say why you're reaching out to them, you want to say a little bit about your story and your comic book, you want to talk about compensation, and you want to sound professional but not like a robot. You are not a robot, hopefully. I have my eyes on you if you are. So once you have sent this message, you just have to wait. It's that simple, and I know you don't want to wait, but you do. I have so far reached out to 4 artists, one of which said best of luck but no. 2 of them I have not heard back from, and one of them I am currently talking to, and I will not be able to tell you exactly what was said because I'm not sure if it's a yes or a no yet. But hey, there was a follow-up email and we're talking. So fingers crossed, and even that's just exciting. I will not be naming any of the artists that I've been reaching out to, whether established or not established, as I have not asked their permission to include them in a vlog. As I said, some of the artists said no. So far, I don't have a definitive yes from anyone that I've reached out to myself. Although I do have a yes from someone who reached out to me, so that is very exciting, but I will get to that later. Dealing with rejection. It's not a big deal. If they don't want to work with you, appreciate them being upfront about it, and if they're rude, I mean, you probably wouldn't have wanted to work with them anyway, but if they're nice about it, just, you know, be nice back. The person who said, best of luck, but I'm not the person for you, I was polite because I was just appreciated the fact that they responded to me. I didn't need them to say yes. I would have liked them to say yes, but I didn't need it. It's not like my life was going to end if they didn't want to illustrate my comic book. I would just reach out to someone else, someone who would be excited And I'm just gonna keep reaching out until I find someone who's as excited as me. So don't stress over a no. Don't think that a no is the end of the world. Don't think that if one person says no, everyone's going to say no. Because if you think that way, you're never gonna get it published. You just have to keep moving forward. And a yes will eventually come along. A yes from the right person for your comic. Now, I did mention that I do have one yes, and again, I did not ask their permission to put them in this vlog, so I'm just going to say that they're an artist. So this person saw my content and reached out to me, which is something that I wanted to talk about a bit, because I have received opportunities from putting this content out there that I never would have thought about. I just assumed that I would put writing content out on Instagram and YouTube, and hopefully I would help some people, and hopefully I would get some followers. Speaking of which, if you're this far into the video, clearly you're interested in this, I hope. So please like and follow and subscribe, and whichever one is the proper word for YouTube, I think it's subscribe. And I hope to one day make this my job, so really every single one of you, every single subscription really does matter and count to me. Thank you so much. And thank you just for watching this. Back to the point, putting myself out there, I did not expect to get anything but maybe some followers and subscribers if I was lucky. But I've actually had 2 artists now reach out to me about working with them. And that's so amazing. Putting yourself out there is important. I might not have a published work that I can point to when reaching out to artists, but I can say, these are my videos. I'm building something here. I'm building a platform. And even if you don't want to make this your job, I think that posting a bit on social media about your projects can be a really great way to get yourself out there. If this isn't for you, no judgment at all. It's a lot of work, and it might not be for everyone. I know that I don't really feel shy in front of the camera, even though I feel shy in front of anyone else's camera. But you might, and you might not want to talk at a camera for hours and then edit it and post it online, and I'm making this sound not very fun. If you don't want to, no judgment, you don't have to. But if you're up for it or you're interested, I'd say go for it, because it really can bring some opportunities your way. And you could help some people out. I love hearing that something I posted helped someone, or that they learned something, or even if it's just one of my more goofy videos that made someone laugh, I will link my goofy videos up above. Hopefully they'll make you laugh. It's just amazing getting to connect with someone. Anyway, let's get on to when you have found your artist. Be kind, but clear. I really struggle with asserting myself a bit, especially when someone's doing something nice for me. It's like if someone agrees to illustrate my comic and they show me a sketch, I don't want to be like, no, that's wrong. I have not had that experience yet, so that's cool. But they don't want you to just agree with everything and quietly not like it. You have to be honest with them, but not mean about it. If someone reads your description, draws a sketch, and you're like, this is cool, but it doesn't look like my character, you have to communicate that to them. It's a back and forth. You are collaborating with this person. It is not a you thing, and is not a them thing. It is an us thing, a both of you thing. I should have come up with a better slogan for that, but it is a collaboration, and you have to be honest and clear, and you have to actually give them the information that they need to work. Because if you're all wishy-washy and don't really tell them what you're looking for, it's just going to be confusing. I'm still learning. I have a lot of things to figure out when they ask me questions. Sometimes I have to do a little bit of research. But trying to help as much as I can and being honest and clear about what I'm looking for is key. And yes, trying to lead a team in illustrating and lettering and publishing a comic is really daunting, but I know that it's worth it, and I have so far begun working with an amazingly talented artist. I'm not going to shout you out because I didn't ask if you wanted to be in this vlog, but like, if you're watching this, your art's amazing, and I really do mean that. I'm so thrilled to be working with you. And this be kind but clear thing blades directly into my second point in this section. Be prepared but honest. I lead with, I have not published a comic, however, I'm completely devoted to the process of publishing it, and am willing to put in a lot of work, and have already put in a lot of work. I actually say that in my letter. You have to be honest with them. If you're watching this, you're probably not a comic book publishing pro, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to be upfront and honest about that. I have not published a comic book before. There, I said it. However, I'm working on it. I've done some research into it as much as I can. I'm going to continue doing research into it, and I'd like to think that I'm adaptable and can think on my feet if something comes up. Using the knowledge that I have gathered over the past couple years, looking into this and thinking about this all the time, I am doing my best to try and guide fellow creatives down the path of publishing, both my own team and anyone who's interested. But that doesn't mean I'm an expert. This channel was never meant to be, here's the one way that you can do things. It was just meant to catalog my personal experience so that you could relate to it or maybe learn things, and so that one day when I'm 50 and I'm looking back on my comic book career, I can say, this is when I started. Look at how small I am. Look at how little I knew. And look at how much I've learned. And hopefully you can learn something from it too, because I'm going to be posting about all the things I do right and all the things I do wrong. So when I say be prepared but honest, I mean exactly that. Don't lie or pretend to know things that you don't know. But also, do your best to be prepared and to learn as much as you can. When I reached out to the most recent artist, I got a reply asking for more information, and I was ready. I had a Word document all set up. I will link that video up above in case you want to make one yourself. Having that ready felt great, because it's a wonderful way to just be like, here's my story in a nutshell, here's all the information you would need to get started, and then you can ask me any further questions. I have prepared as much as I can, and if a question comes up that I don't know the answer to, I have to be honest, because they're possibly signing on to work with me, and that has to be built on trust and collaboration. So now, my progress so far, the personal bit of this. I've talked a little bit about this, but I started reaching out to artists, I think maybe a month ago. I started sometime in August, basically. When I did this, I reached out to an artist. They replied within 24 hours, which was amazing. However, they were not interested, but they wished me the best of luck. This rejection, I suppose, actually gave me the confidence to reach out to someone else. Because now that I'd sent one message and gotten one reply, even though it was a no, I felt like I could do it again. I'd been so terrified to reach out to people, but all I needed was just one experience doing it, and I suddenly became so much more confident and comfortable in doing it again. So again, put yourself out there. You're gonna get knocked down, but you just gotta climb right back up. The next person I reached out to, I didn't hear back. I didn't hear back for a week, or ever. I just waited a week, and when I didn't hear back, I decided, oh well, I'll reach out to someone else. So after that, I took a bit of time. I looked around Instagram and Pinterest and DeviantArt and places, and I put together a little group of people that I was like, I love your art, I love your work, I feel like you'd be a good fit for my story, and I started reaching out. I reached out to one of them, I waited a week, I did not get a reply, so then I reached out to another one, and I did that yesterday, and I got a reply, and we are now talking. Although I don't know if it's going to be a yes yet. But if it's not a yes, maybe they could connect me with someone else. My favorite comic book is Saga. It's the one that inspired me to become a comic book writer. And I'm pretty sure that I read that Brian K. Vaughan reached out to some artists. They said, thanks, but no thanks. But hey, I can connect you to this person called Fiona Staples, who I think might be a good fit. And they made Saga together, and it's awesome. Long story short, I will keep you up to date on future installments of this little series about reaching out to artists, because I'm not sure where it's all gonna go yet, but it's gonna be a road, it's gonna be a journey, and it's okay if some of them say no. It's all about dedication, and all the other stuff that I mentioned, that too. It's all about all the stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate every single comment. I love talking to you. I love hearing your points. I posted this villains video, which I'm really proud of, so go watch it, please. And I got some really thoughtful and long comments, and I loved reading them and hearing people's thoughts on different characters and their own takes on villains, and even when they disagreed with what I said, I just loved hearing their takes on it. And honestly, I feel like reading through those comments on the video were educational. If you have thoughts or experiences, please let me know. I'd love for everyone to help everyone here and to build a little community. Okay, bye.